Right, Charlie. England 2-1. I've said it once, I'll say it again. I'm always right. I predicted 2-1. We got 2-1. Here we are. Would I want to be the first goal to go to Denmark? Probably not. But as I said, broke the curse. We're there. Clean sheets are gone. But don't have to worry about that anymore. What are your thoughts?
I'm kind of happy they scored first because it meant we had to come into the game. We had to reassess and go,
Yeah.
right, we've got to regroup. We've got to think, okay, how do we actually get back into it? And I think we responded really well. I think if we hadn't have conceded and then the first time we conceded and the whole thing's against Italy in the final, I would be more concerned because of that thing around not conceding and not knowing how you're going to turn around and react. I think the opening sort of 5-10 minutes, really positive. Like we were trying to be on the front foot and then we had that lull and Denmark scored. And then the reaction after that, again, I think was good. I think at times Kane maybe sat a little bit too deep still.
At some points, I noticed he was back at one point. So the whole field's playing. Obviously, we're playing really fluid. I'm liking it. I was watching it with my girlfriend, and she just went, "Harry Kane's meant to be at the front, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, he's meant to be at the front." Harry Kane was back like the same line as Maguire at one point. I'm watching it like there's fluidity, but Kane's slow. If he had the legs on him, like Foden or Kyle Walker, yeah, be back. But there's times when I saw get crossed into the box, and there's no one there.
Yeah.
And Kane should be the guy that's there. He's a lamppost. He's tall, he's got striking power. He's not exactly that quick. He plays some nice balls through, but ultimately we've got the wing backs. We had Sterling, we had Grealish, we had Foden running up and balls up, and Kane was just too far back to capitalise on it.
Yeah.
And it's that fluidity is working really well, but I think Kane needs to be less fluid and stay more where he needs to be to then start sniping almost, rather than being all over the pitch.
Yeah, there's a few times where you watch it and you think, okay, if Kane was in the middle now, that would be nice to be able to whip the ball into him. But instead he wasn't, so then we're having to bring it back and recycle it right round the back again, go down the other side and then try and come back across and things like that. Way more nervy.
Sterling needs to release it as well, though. You see stuff like that, and he runs at the wing. It's and the play's happening. We get to a play with a position to make the play, and then he'll either lose possession or he'll pass it back to Walker and go Walker to Rice to Maguire, and then we're back to where we were at the halfway line again. We lose the ground we've got.
Yeah, but I would rather we kept the ball than just keep giving up the ball and having that continuous thing of, all right, we've lost possession, we've got to worry about winning it back before we can even worry about making an attack. At least if
Sterling does tend to give away the possession as well.
But he's given it away in the final third. If we're passing the ball around the midfield, at least we have control of the ball. And one thing that I've noticed a lot of is when we do that, I do think in comparison to the opening game against Croatia, we've got a lot better at saying, right, okay, lads, we're holding the ball. You guys up front need to actually start doing something, start getting movement involved, start making the runs when you're cutting inside and things like that. I think Saka played really well again, and I expect him to start in the final. But Gareth's never named the same starting 11 2 games in a row, and to be honest, there's no chance he takes Sterling off. There's no chance he takes Kane off. The
midfield being difference though. This midfield, they were. Sorry, I know you're a Declan Rice fan, and the first half.
First half they were both awful.
They were shit.
Yeah,
you're watching it, and then I was like, what's going on? Declan Rice started playing. I was towards the end when he was playing up. He was coming right up the wings, and he was doing some really nice runs at the end. But the first half, they were dog shit.
First half,
I was like, what the fuck's this?
Yeah, first half they just weren't in the game. When Denmark had a goal kick, for example. The Danish defence would be right on the edge of the box to receive the ball short, but their attacking players would still be so far forward that then as soon as Schmeichel went long, we had no midfield. And it was 3 attackers against the 4 defenders or whatever, and we were getting really outnumbered and really outplayed there. But I think second half we were much better. They were both Phillips and Rice. There was one bit where Rice was having to be playing at left back, trying to keep the ball away, and he managed to get the ball away, and they were all giving him a pat on the head and stuff and saying good job. And I think Henderson, that's probably the best sort of half an hour of football I've seen from Henderson in a long time. He seemed to have so much energy, which is always my worry with Henderson. I
can see Henderson starting ahead of Phillips or if Henderson can slot because he's Phillips and Rice, they haven't won stuff. You go into the final, you want
the winning mentality.
Henderson has won the Premier League. He's won the Champions League. They're there. They're there. You've got that guy who knows how finals go. You've got that winning, strong driving force. He's a strong driving person at the Liverpool squad.
For me,
that's slotting in there for the final.
That's why he shouldn't start, because if he does start, I don't know if he's got if he's up to full fitness yet, and if he's got the legs to take him to 90 minutes or 120 minutes.
Yeah.
But if we're in a position where by some miracle we're in the lead against Italy, I say some miracle, like the odds are actually in our favour.
You saw the Spain and Italy game. I was worried about Italy. I'm still a bit worried about Italy. But they looked the sloppiness was there, was kind of maybe like, okay, a bit more confidence behind it. 'Cause it wasn't like clean execution plays. They're making plays, but the sloppiness to it was maybe like, actually, you can capitalise here.
Yeah, but then I think that you want Rice and Phillips to start because they will start with so much energy. And it doesn't matter about yellow cards and things like that now. So they can start with energy. They can get in the faces of Jorginho and things like that. And then if it gets to 70, 80 minutes and we need someone to come on and just reset, be calm, Henderson's proven that he can do that. And in the second half, if we're going to extra time as well, like he'll be able to come on and be that controlling person as well that knows about being in that pressured situation. Like you'll look throughout the team, the only people that haven't won anything or got to sort of major finals and stuff is Pickford, Phillips, Rice, and I mean Kane's been in a Champions League final, didn't win it, but still. But he's not in the starting 11, so it's irrelevant, isn't it? Like the rest of them, all the Man City players have all been in finals. They've all been in Champions League final and stuff like that.
Mason Mount at Chelsea, he's like what's going on.
He's just won a Champions League medal. Kane
they obviously didn't win it, but they got to the final with Champions League.
Sterling Champions League final, won League Cups, won FA Cups, everything like that. So I think there is a lot of experience at a club level within that team.
Yeah.
And I don't expect, I hope that they win. I don't really know I wouldn't be able to predict the game. Like I honestly wouldn't have a clue. If we'd have cruised through yesterday, I'd have been sat here really confident and cocky about it. But after last night, it's a final. Anything can happen.
With both our goals, one was a questionable penalty, but ultimately I'd say the Harry Kane, the penalty that wasn't given, I would have given that as the penalty. Mm-hmm. And then obviously the Sterling one was a bit of a dive. A VR check they went through it. You got to think from England's point of view, if that penalty had been given against us, we would be piss fuming right now. We'd be going off on one. However, I agree with them, that probably wasn't it. But the Harry Kane one beforehand was a penalty in my eyes. So it kind of balances out in my head saying, okay, we didn't get the one that was an obvious penalty, but this dodgy dive we've got to give one for. So it kind of balances out. We've also got the own goal as well. So both our goals weren't actually if Sterling was there, he was going to finish it. Yeah.
That goal is as good as Sterling's in my opinion. Like he was in the right place, right time, great run from Saka. In terms of the penalties, it's one of those ones that when I watch a lot of Premier League, I get annoyed at people like Jack Grealish they'll take a foul because they know that they've been touched. Yeah, and they'll draw the most fouls, and that's
Harry Kane's. As soon as you touch him on his back, he's folding in half. You just don't even Denmark. They were getting pissed off last night. They were rushing. They touch him on the back. He's folding in half like a folding chair, and he's on the floor. And it's
it's the stupidest thing in the world that he does.
He's drawing, but you can't do that to Harry Kane because that's what he'll do.
Yeah.
And towards the end of that game, when the second half we started getting back into it, the extra time even, and towards the end of the first half as well, we were just getting the fouls awarded for us constantly. We're attacking. That I was impressed and also gave a bit of confidence the amount of fouls we're getting awarded for us, because Italy got really aggy and scrappy against Spain. They were proper chucking feet in when they shouldn't be and getting really sloppy and scrappy with it. And if we can draw as many fouls as we can against Denmark, who defends them, there was one or two players who were getting really pissed off. We've got his name, the massive centre back for them. We kept just going in and getting these fouls awarded against him. But Italy, I could see people in the midfield just getting really aggy and just getting stupid fouls against a Grealish, against Kane, pushing him in the back when he jumps up. Even Mason Mount was starting to draw some stuff towards it.
Yeah, I think that the game management was very good in the end. Once we got the goal, we came
to 5 at the back.
We came back while we kept attacking. I think even if the penalty wasn't given, I still think we would have scored a winner before penalties. We were.
Yeah.
I feel like we were so on top, and you look at the stats afterwards. We had 20 shots. I think they had about 9 or 10, if that. And yeah, I think balance of play. It's one of those games where it's either team could have scored their chances, but with an England head on, you say England deserved to win, which obviously I'm going to say.
But also, I'd say, from a Danish point of view as well, you've got to give it to Kasper Schmeichel. Like,
oh yeah,
his goalkeeping, like if they had some, like you look at some teams that got like good attackers, good midfielders, and like an average keeper. Like I'm saying, England when he's at Everton Pickford is not England Pickford. If we had Everton a couple of times last night,
it was Everton Pickford last night, yeah.
But I mean, you look at it and it's just like, okay, if Kasper Schmeichel wasn't that goalkeeper, say they had an average European keeper, and I'm not saying like anything bad, but like an average keeper, the scoreline may have been a lot different because he was playing out of his skin last night. He was playing amazingly well. Even with a laser pen shot into his eyes, he managed to save Harry Kane's penalty, an awful penalty from Kane, probably one of the worst penalties I've seen from Kane. Like, it was a terrible pen, saved it, got on the volley back in, but it's just like, Kasper Schmeichel just played ungodly for Denmark last night, I'd say. Like, some of his saves, admittedly some of the shots are pretty shit from England, like some straight in the middle, straight at the keeper, but even then you had to like be positioned well, made himself as big as possible, came out at the right times.
100%.
I think
punch the ball away powerfully. Punch the ball away powerfully
almost,
when he needed to be. When he needed to, yeah.
Who would your man of the match be from last night? Because I'm very tempted to say Kasper Schmeichel. Also, Luke Shaw, again, I said last time, I say it again, bloody amazing game. He's playing amazingly well.
I'd say
his lobs into the box, like...
Carl Walker would be a shout.
Yeah,
for man of
he's
match.
tracking back, and
again,
you see it like halfway line. He's gone back. He's got it sorted.
Like, he just looks so calm and confident and comfortable with everything that he did. And like, they were saying on the radio this morning that he looks as if he got quicker in extra time. Like, he just kept going, and
he's got second wind on. He's just going for it.
Yeah,
like...
and there were just times where Denmark would look like they had a player in behind, or they would run him back for a ball, and it's almost like Walker would go on, have a couple of meters on me, I'll still get there before you, and then get rid of the ball as well.
Like a slight flex, like I'm faster than you, mate.
And he knows it as well, and that gives him so much confidence defending. And
he's not even like a young Don.
He's one of the oldest in the team.
Yeah, but he's rapid. Yeah. Like he's mental quick, and it almost like, I was impressed by Walker. The centre backs though, Stones was alright. Maguire's yellow card. What was that? Like the first. Okay, I agree. He did forearm the guy in the head. However, you're throwing your arms up for the jump to get height. You have to throw your arms up to get height. So are you like in the wall? There's a lot more dodgy shit happening in that wall as well than just the wall. That just his arm. It's like, and then later on, similar shit happens, and some points the ref was a bit. I think that may also be why we got that pen, because earlier on he given a lot of stuff more favourably to Denmark.
I don't think the refereeing was as good in that game as it has been for the others. I think
the German referee I was scared of when we got that German
really
referee.
Good.
He was very good. When I saw German referees, German linesmen for the Ukraine game, I was like, right, with that out, lads. But
no, because they'll want us to win because we knock them out. So you want the team that beats
the whole of Europe doesn't want us to win. No one in Europe wants us to win.
I've seen that
all
over TikTok this morning.
No one in Europe wants us to win. Like, you look at it. No, why would you like? Everyone's been beaten by. You want them to beat England. The whole other side of the tree want us to be beaten. Like, no one wants us to win apart from England. The Scots, the Irish, even if they're like in the United Kingdom with us, they don't want us to win. No one wants us to win. But yeah, that's like. I think, what's your prediction next match? What are you thinking? You see you weren't confident. I'm thinking I'm going to put my balls in the line here. 1-1 after extra time. World Cup, the Euros gets decided on penalties. The most tense, on the edge of your seat match you're going to watch.
God, I hope it's not. I'm going to say England are going to. But who's going to win your penalties?
Oh mate, that's in the air. No,
you
I'm
can't
going to go.
do that.
Obviously, I have to say England pen. Then I have to say England penalties. But it's going to go. If it goes to penalties, it's going to go long. And I mean, your first five. We're gonna go deep
all
into
the
squad selection. No, I'm not saying to the keepers on keeper bit, but I'm like
Pickford's potentially down to take one of the first five, by the way.
Okay,
but that's a topic for another time.
Yeah. Okay, so what's your prediction then?
It's going to be done in 90 minutes. It is going to be a hectic final 20 minutes. We'll see most of the goals in the last sort of 20 minutes, and England are going to win 3-2.
Ballsy. I like it.
We haven't conceded from open play yet, and that's what gives me
true.
Like
no,
that
true.
gives me confidence that it will need to be a set piece. I think corner wise, we should be able to defend quite well against Italy, and I think the pace that we've got up front should make the difference going forward. I feel like we'll concede a penalty though because we haven't yet.
Yeah,
I just feel like
it's coming. And 11 goals last night were scored from own goals last night as well. So you look at stuff like that. Could something sloppy happen?
Yeah. Something like that.
So yeah, if you agree with me, as you should do, leave it down below. And also, if you agree with Charlie, leave it down below. But if you think something different, if you think Italy are going to come through 4-0 us and we're going to be sent crying home, drop it down in the comments. If you like what you're seeing, a lot more content still going up. Drop a like, drop a subscribe, share it with your mates, because that always helps the most. Cheers, see you later.